Okay guys, we just stopped off at the guest services of the Ripley's Aquarium to pick up our guest pass. For the next week, I'm going to be exploring all of the different Ripley's attractions and bringing them to you one video at a time. So buckle up and get ready for some Ripley's fun. We're going to kick it off with our Ripley's Adventures here at the original Ripley's Believe It or Not. And I'm going to switch over to my other camera in just a minute so that you guys have a better view. As we begin our trip into Ripley's, the elevator tells us some of the story of Mr. Robert Ripley. And we're on our way to floor 3. Okay guys, so a few facts before we start exploring. There are 3 floors and 16 different galleries within this Ripley's. That's 12,500 feet of attractions and over 500 different artifacts and exhibits individually. So, lots of stuff for us to explore today. And as we first move in, the fun begins. Look guys, this is a photo op right here where we can actually sit inside the cauldron and say, we got shrunk here at Ripley's. Very signature to Ripley's, we have a shrunken head. Now guys, this Ripley's was actually redesigned in recent years and has one of the coolest outside aesthetics I have seen at any Ripley's. It looks like the wilderness around it. There are big trees, there's animals creeping out. And then you have these viewpoints like the one that I'm at right now where you can actually see the entire strip of Gatlinburg. It's so neat here guys, and this is one of by far the biggest and my favorites so far. See, there's the strip right there and you can see all of the traffic and some of the different attractions. We're right across from the Sky Bridge, it looks like. And then down the way we have some shopping and restaurants. We're right next to Ruby's where they serve a delicious brunch. And inside this little lookout area you can find Mr. Ripley quotes everywhere. So I make a living out of the fact that the truth is stranger than fiction. That's a really key one there. Now this is Kamala the Wolf Girl, and legend has it that in 1912 a baby girl was carried off in India by a she-wolf. The child was reared by the wolf's den for 8 years before she was rescued. Of course, not all of Mr. Robert Ripley's things were crazy and wild. Some of them were unusual instruments that might have been used. Of course, even these instruments were a bit odd. This is a drum made of a skull. And this is a trumpet made from a conch shell. Now this is a hands-on right here. It actually talks about the weighted earrings that are sometimes worn in Africa to elongate the earlobes, and it's thought to be a sign of beauty to have longer earlobes. So right here we can pick this up.
For hundreds of years, the shoe
That's pretty heavy, guys. Now, as we move through exhibits, it tells us a little bit more about the exhibits themselves, but also Robert Ripley. Did you know that he traveled to over 200 countries to find his finds? And he flew absolutely this many times to get there. That's right, he made it a true adventure. So in the spirit of adventuring, adventurers, here we go on Robert Ripley's adventure through 3 floors of museum. On this wall we have some of the many tribal masks that would have been collected by Mr. Ripley on his adventures. This is the Lock-Nosed Woman, and she was punished with this lock because she was gossiping. And so the tribe in Nigeria that she belonged to, her king, which was her husband, decided to padlock her nose. and then told her that if she continued to gossip, that he would also padlock her lips. Now the interesting part of this is people confused this punishment for actual jewelry, so they started wearing locks instead of the traditional jewels in their nose, and so this was kind of a trend-setting thing. I don't know, it's kind of different. Now this is Wang the human unicorn. He was originally photographed in 1931 with this horn growing out of the back of his head. A West Indian dance mask, an African wooden pillow that couldn't be comfortable, twin dolls that are Nigerian, and this is a West African crocodile carving. So this guy right here is Edward Hagner, and he was considered to be the world's thinnest man. He stood 5'7", but never got more than 50 pounds. Now it was revealed that this was a condition of a ruptured pituitary gland, and so even though he was able to sustain a normal life, it was because of a disease. So yeah, he's like the size of my pinky. Believe it or not, this guy had a hole in his head, and rather than letting it get the best of him, he decided that he was going to insert a candle into it and lead people around in the dark city streets of Chongqing, China. Now this big guy right here is Walter Hudson, and he was once recognized as the world's largest man. He spent 27 years inside his bedroom. Wow, I can't imagine having to only stay in one place. And on his floor markers, look at this. This was his daily diet. That is a lot of food. This next one is one I'm super familiar with because it is a more modern one. This is the Vampire Woman. Wow, a lot of tattoos, a lot of body modifications, and there's a video over here that tell you a little bit more about her and all the different things that she did. But before we watch it, let's see if we can spot some of them. Well, she definitely has her teeth done and several facial piercings. It looks like she has some pretty big gauges going on, but potentially these are the more disturbing parts. Wow, that looks like it hurt. A couple facts from the video: she used to study law and she now DJs. She's also an advocate for domestic abuse victims, and on top of that, she has 95% of her body is tattooed. Yeah. Now this right here is one of the screens that you can learn a little bit more about the individuals. And then right here is the individual himself. There he is, Mr. Robert Wadlow. I knew we would find him eventually. He is the world's tallest man. It looks like he's got on some sneakers. Typically, you see him in these kind of shoes, and his shoe length was 17.5 inches long. It stood 8 inches high, 5 inches wide, and weighed 4.5 pounds. Now, you can see, I'm giving you some perspective here. I'm 5'7". He's 8'11". Yeah. Another fun fact here, Willie Camper could hold a dozen eggs unstacked in the palm of his hand. This is his hand. How does ours measure up? Oh, you know, not at all. Not at all. We have Elvis Presley with a 600 Elvis painting. So there are 600 different Elvises in this one painting. Look at the detail of his face alone. Wow. And then that's quite the Elvis tattoo fingers. And keeping in the nature of music, we have Selena Gomez here, painted on rose petals. A little more morbid. Do you recognize this? You might recognize it if you like Walking Dead. This is the jacket and face mask that was actually used in the popular scenes. And this is a very special Walking Dead tribute made out of barbecue sauce. This is where the sound was coming from. It's called Bodies in Motion, and let's see what happens. This looks menacing. Enter here. Okay, sure. This could go very badly. Like, very badly. I'm gonna try to hold you guys while we do this. I'm gonna show you the perspective looking down. This could go bad. Oh, it moves. Oh, guys, it moves. Oh, it moves. Oh, I'm wiggling. Oh. We're halfway there. Oh. We can do it. We can do it. Success! Okay, so this one is interactive. How many strings can we get through this tiny little hole? Okay, so now we have to touch nothing. Like I just made it go off like this. As soon as you touch it, it goes off. So we have to do it without making that go off. Let's see if we can do it this time. So far so good, so far so good. This is really hard with the camera, guys. Okay, the turn is gonna be the hard part. Oh, we're close. Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it. Oh, we were very close to touching there. Oh. Oh, I touched again. So I think the moral of the story is hand-eye coordination is much harder while holding a camera. But I did get 2 strings on the needle a while ago. I just couldn't get the end to uncrimp with only one hand. So I consider that a win. Yeah, that thing was a little hard. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Big, you have to do a Zoltar every time you see them. So Zoltar gets my $1. Let's see what he has to say. In goes the $1. Tell me
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Ah, yes. It looks like today must be your lucky day, for I see relaxation in your future. Have no worries about your troubles, my friend. Zoltar has wisdom enough to conquer them all.
Am I tired and weary? Does life feel drab and dreary? Despair not, my friend. I see happiness around the bend. A massive chair, like huge. And as we go down the staircase, even it's filled with crazy fun facts. Now, I don't know if you can kind of see these as I'm going by, but it shows here lots of different stair facts. This guy right here walked up 5 flights of stairs on his hands. And this one says Chicago Sears Tower has an annual foot race. 103 flights of stairs. No. Okay guys, it's time for floor 2. That was just all on one floor. There was a lot of stuff up there and I didn't even show you all of it because there's just so much. I want you guys to come out here and see it for yourself. But through this door, what will unveil itself? I don't know. We're about to find out. For this floor, guys, we're going to the Ripley warehouse and seeing some of the many things that are in store. Like this. Tiger shark jaws. This is really disturbing. This is a tattoo on real human skin. Ew. A paradummy from D-Day. This thing dates back to 1944. He was a British model named Rupert. This is a shark that has all sorts of cool stuff going on inside of it. It is a Megalodon robot. Do not open. Well, of course I'm going to. Oh! Okay. Now this is kind of a different kind of exhibit I haven't seen here before. This is Annie Oakley. And when you push the button, that is her trick shot pistol kit inside. Now I really hope this isn't real because this place should be really haunted if it is. This is an ancient Egyptian mummy from 2000 BC. And then alongside that we have a mummified human hand and a mummified falcon. Now keep in mind, the Egyptians mummified literally everything. Oh, look at this guy. He is all decked out in his Tennessee Volunteers, showing us how to make funny faces. In this gallery we can push buttons and see things go to work. This entire area is filled with really kind of silly humor, like the squirrel poking through and seeing the humans, kind of the opposite of what actually happens. Then there's a few other ones in here that are pretty cool too. They also have a place where we can take our own mugshot, and these are some of the fun things that you could have been guilty of. Evading the fashion police, resisting arrest, need a nap. That's me, gosh. Everything we see here is made of matchsticks. And isn't this impressive? Wow, this looks almost like the Harry Potter castle. I have to find out if it is. Right here, it says it is the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Good to know that my movie watching has paid off. This horse here is actually covered in items that were recycled from things that were found along highways, including beads, glass, and little pieces like that. So many of them. There are thousands upon thousands, guys. And do you know what this is? Can you name this material? If you said shotgun shells, you are correct. But what do these shotgun shells create? That's the real art. It is Clint Eastwood out of shotgun shells. Kind of fitting that you find Clint Eastwood next to the Shoot 'em Up gallery. And they have several different things that you can shoot here. Do you recognize any of these bottle caps? Or maybe the famous face. It's Michelle Obama out of bottle caps. Brad Pitt made entirely out of cigarette ashes. Seeing this picture of George Washington, would you believe that this is one continuous line, the entire thing? Believe it or not, this picture of the Virgin Mary is all created from duct tape. Tiny pieces of duct tape. It's like the fun that never stops. There's so many cool things along this hall. And we're about to move into the next room. Now this room overlooks the lobby, and you can see some of the things that we were able to see a while ago, like this white giraffe. This is a rare albino giraffe that we're looking at. Look at the dedication to this man's craft in his face and in his eyes. This is the Hammerhead Man. Now it's said that the Hammerhead Man, his skull is at least 2 times stronger and thicker than the average person. So don't try anything that he's ever done at home. It will not go well. This next guy is another one of our favorites. It's the Lizard Man. And this guy has a crazy story also. Notice, his tongue is split. He is fully embodying lizard. Now the Lizard Man has dedicated over 700 hours of his life to the tattoo chair. And he has his teeth filed to points and dermals in his eyebrows, in addition to his tongue being split. His name is Eric Sprague, and he is actually from right here in the US. This is another, don't try this at home. This guy could actually withstand extreme temperatures and was a circus sideshow that could sit in an oven for up to 350 degrees. Food would cook, but he wouldn't. What? All of those barcodes create Oprah. Who thinks of this stuff? This is more duct tape here. And as we get past it a little bit, it is Stephen Colbert. Now this right here is awesome because this is an actual piece of the Berlin Wall. And if you're looking at it, you can kind of see there's an image being projected onto it. And that is the actual images from that time of the Berlin Wall. It's really vague, but just enough where you can see it from certain angles. He's actually created by a Colombian-born artist. He is a larger-than-life sheep, and it's made entirely of apparently industrial mops. But it does look like there's a few tiny little shoelaces in here too. Believe it or not, this guy actually swims and paints together. This is one of his actual paintings. Who doesn't love this? And here they have a little squirrel Robin Hood. Who's up for some fashion? I know I am. So this is the Believe It or Not Fashion Gallery, where we find crazy things that are made into clothes. You won't believe some of these. Not until you see them. This is a candy wrapper dress, and it looks like they mostly used Starburst candies. A post-it dress, and it looks like it was sprayed with just a little bit of fabulous glitter to make it shine as it walked down the runway. And who doesn't want to get married in a toilet paper dress? That all definitely reminds me of the Unconventional Materials Challenge on Project Runway. Now this is the dog Maggie, and it was painted with actual dog hair. Maybe I should try to make one of these of Spanky. Okay, it's a mosaic. What are they using? What are they using? Oh my goodness, they are using thousands of buttons with different messages. We're totally going through here, but I totally walked in front of this guy and I feel bad, but then I realized he was not a real person. He is in fact one of the mannequins. They are sneaky with these guys. It's time to go inside. Reach inside? Oh, I don't know about that. Press the button to hear the animal call. Do we think it is a bobcat or a lion? I'm gonna go with lion. Oh, it is bobcat. Man. Pressing the button again. That is an owl. Definitely an owl. These are all fluorescent rocks, so we hit this and it shows us what they look like. Awesome. That is so cool. Can we grab the fool's gold? Well, it's fool's gold, so it wouldn't be worth anything if we did. Oh. No. Ooh. I have to say, I should have expected that something like that would happen. Yeah. No, didn't guess it. Design our own prank of nature. Okay, this sounds like something we could do. Touch to begin, okay. Let's see, choose an animal. Okay, so let's choose the turtle. We like turtles. And then extra body part. Let's give them a, sure, that works. A pattern. Let's make him look like a cow. And the color will be blue. So far, this is what he's looking like, guys. Eyes, we can make them bigger. So let's give him bigger eyes. A collar, let's give him a bow tie because he just looks dapper. And a background, let's let him be in this nice area. There he is. Needing a bear hug? Let's see. Now I have to say this is the first time I have ever seen shoes for moose. These are actually rubber boots for cows that are suffering from their injured hoof. This keeps and protects them so that they don't have infection until they can heal up. Now these are actual Cherokee peace pipes from the 19th century right here. So this guy has the coolest craft ever. He uses a big piece of glass and puts it in the sun to create things like this. Look guys, that's where we crossed the rope bridge a while ago, and this is what's below us. This creepy room. No big deal. A 6'11" calf, a Siamese calf, a sand table. Okay guys, we have this. Woo! Okay. It changes this up a lot. Look at this. We go short squatty, we get tall. Oh, we're moving again. Oh! Now the Room of Illusions is one of my favorite because there are so many cool things here. So throughout this entire room there are illusions and tricks of the eye. Let's see how many we can figure out. Look guys, it's like Operation Only bigger. So you have these massive tongs. Let's see if we can go remove something without touching. Let's see. Oh, no, these are difficult. Ooh, go in narrow, go in narrow. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, now we gotta get it out. Oh, we can do it. Success, we did it. Now something really weird that I just noticed is this right here clearly has something written on it. But when you're looking at it with your naked eye, you can't see that unless you do this. I really like these because you can actually take these and move them. And it shows you on the screen something different. So, here we go. This is what it shows on the screen as we move it forward. And backwards. And these are pretty cool because different people's eyes see things differently. So depending on where you are in your vision, you may or may not be able to see the numbers that are on here. So what you do is you look at it, see if you can figure it out. This one clearly says 29. And there it is. Time to solve some puzzles, guys, using words. So, what do you think that this one is? Crossroads, right. What about this one? Mind over matter, good job. What about this one? Did you think uptown? You're right. What about this one? Can you guess what the next letter would be? O-T-T-F-F-S-S-E? What would it be, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it would be in. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 9. How many equilateral triangles triangles do you guys see? 20, 12, or 18? Pause it here and leave your answer in the comments if you do this one. Okay, back in the elevator we go, and we're going to the first floor. We've gone through 2 of the 3 levels so far. This has been really fun, guys. I'm loving Ripley's. Now, as you can see, the first floor is actually filled with games, so you can come in here and play everything from retro games to modern ones. Super fun way to wrap up your experience here at Ripley's and have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to show you some of the games that are available, and then I encourage you guys to come out. Well guys, that is it for Ripley's Believe It or Not here today in Gatlinburg. We have a lot more Ripley's attractions to go, but thanks for coming for this one. This is our first to kick off our lovely Ripley's experiences here. Now, I have some cool stuff coming up on the channel. Again, remember, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday we have a new upload. So until next time guys, bye!